Dame. Mike Richmond, NBC Sports. Can you just describe the feeling when you realized this game was finally over and you'd won it?
I mean, I was just happy. I mean, game like that, you know, a hard-fought game, 4 overtimes. Each overtime, it seemed like the one team had the edge and was going to close it out and then allow the other team to have life and get back into it. And then we did the same thing, then they did it, and then, you know, we was coming to the bench saying, you know, it's 2 teams fighting for their season. And nobody said it was going to be pretty. Nobody said it was going to be easy. And, you know, the team that was willing to go a little bit deeper was going to win the game. And, you know, I thought we did that down the stretch.
Up front on the right, Dame.
Judah Newby, 1029 The Game. Dame, the night for CJ, a guy that steps up in a big moment when not all of your shots were falling in big moments. He stepped up. What is it like to watch CJ have a game like he did?
I mean, I always enjoy, you know, when CJ gets rolling because it's not just the fact that he's doing it for our team. It's just the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? Guys like him and Kyrie Irving, they have games that just look good, just smooth, crossovers, crafty, tough shots. So to watch it was great as a teammate and as a friend, but just the time that it came, you know, it was just big shot after big shot after big shot after big shot. And for me, you know, my job is to allow that, you know, allow him to, when he's rolling, let him keep rolling. And, you know, I know he'll come to me when he's tired and say, all right, you take the ball this time or whatever, but he came through big time for our team tonight, you know, especially in such a long, tough, hard-fought game.
The center up front.
Jared Cowley, KGW. What does it mean to you and to your team to have 2 players like Enes Kanter and Maurice Harkless playing through injuries and pain and playing as many minutes as they are and having the impact they are on this game?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You know, we all depend on each other. We lean on each other. And those guys know how important they are to our team. So the fact that they're out there playing through injuries, I think it just shows how tough they are for one, and it also shows how bad they want it. You know, how bad they how much they're invested into our team, how much they care. You know, they're willing to go out there not 100% banged up and still fight with the team. They know how much we need them. And not only are they playing through it, but they're out there giving us productive minutes and super impactful minutes. You know, Enes, what he's done out there since Nurk went down has been great, changed our season. And we don't have anybody else on our team capable of the things that Mo is capable of. So for him to be out there basically on one leg and coming up with those big rebounds, in the paint, getting us extra possessions, finishing around the rim, deflections, chasing small guards around, playing through screens. For him to be doing that, you know, and knowing that he's doing it through injury, you know, I think it just shows his commitment to the team and how bad he wants it, and same with Enes.
Jamie Hudson, NBC Sports Northwest. Dame, can you describe just how big it was to watch Rodney Hood come up big late in this game?
It was huge. You know, looking back at the first round, you know, I don't think he had the kind of series that he wanted to have. But in that series, you know, we had different guys come in and, you know, come up big for the team. And I think in this series, every game he's come in and give us a huge lift. So I thought tonight it was fitting, you know, that he was able to come through big for us. And it was at a big time in the game. I think it was, you know, at one point we were down 2, and Coach called a play for him, and he scored it. And then the next time, I was like, same play. And he looked at me like, what are we doing? And I was like, same thing. You know, let's keep it rolling. And he hit another one. And I think what he did for our team tonight was huge. Same thing in game 2, but I think us trusting him and continuing to play through him in those big moments, you know, it made him feel that much better about the 3-pointer he shot. You know, rose up with confidence and hit a big shot. So it's been great to see him come through for the team, especially tonight.
Second row on the left.
And Kevin Van Valkenburg, ESPN. You're such a creative player. I'm wondering, what is the line for you between that was a good shot or I might have forced that one?
I think some shots for me, I think is a good shot and it's forced because of when I'm getting to a spot, I know I want to get to that spot. So I think I just, as a scorer, you have a good feel for the amount of space you have, and the way it might look to the person watching, it might be like, you know, that's a tough shot, but after you've been at this level for so long and you get so used to the pace and you get used to how people guard you, it's just you're just trying to get to a spot and you're trying to get a certain amount of space, and then it's just, you know what your comfort level is, you know, regardless of what it might look like to other people. So for me, sometimes I take a shot and they guard it well, and I'm like, you know, I forced that one. I probably should have, you know, been more patient or moved the ball. And then other times, I know it's going to be a tough shot when I'm getting to the spot, but it's just a matter of, you know, filling that space, you know, getting enough space and knowing what the defender is going to do based off probably what he's done the entire game. But it's, to me, it's not a tough decision. You know, it's not really tough because I'm committed to those shots. You know, I spend time working on them.
Front row right.
Dame Joseph Henderson, Associated Press. You and the starters logged a ton of minutes tonight, so going into Game 4, how big is the role of the bench going to be going into Game 4?
I mean, it's always huge for your bench to be able to come in and produce in the playoffs. You know, I think in our past 2 wins against Denver, it's been our bench that's come up big for us. But I mean, as far as the minutes, everybody's tired. You know, we built for what's happening right now, and that's what we had to do to win the game. Now we got to go do our jobs away from the floor to make sure that, you know, at 4 o'clock Sunday we ready.
Back row center.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest. Dave, just how tired were you at the end of that thing?
I mean, I was really tired. You know, you start to cramp up a little bit, get a little bit tired, but we knew that they were going through the same thing. So, you know, it wasn't like we was just out there having a long practice. It was a game. You know, it was another team out there going through the same thing that we went through. So, like I said earlier, it was just a matter of who's going to dig deeper, you know, who's going to fight through and get that one extra rebound, that one extra stop, that one loose ball, make that free throw. You know, who's going to be the team to do those things in these last 2-3 minutes of this overtime. And, you know, tonight we were that team.
Could you actually see the difference, Dame, in a guy like Rodney Hood who comes in with fresh legs on a court with guys who've been playing all those minutes?
I mean, yeah, I think you can look at it that way, but it's also tough for a guy who hadn't been in the game, you know, to come in where everybody else has been running around and they fighting. You know, everybody was tired, but it wasn't like nobody was giving an inch. You know, everybody, you know, their team was there for the physical contact, the coverages, everything was there. You know, both teams was competing hard and on top of their stuff. And he came into the game off the bench, you know, stiff and just came up big, you know, right on the spot for us. So, you know, I think that made it even more impressive.
Last question on the right.
Casey Hillwell, Trailblazers.com. Damian, is there a point in that game at some point where you think to yourself, you know, like, what's going to happen if we lose this game? I mean, obviously you're at home, you've played so many overtimes. Like, is that a motivating factor as well?
For sure. I think that's what, you know, even though I wasn't making shots and spots, I was like, I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to attack the rim. You know, I just remember it was maybe the third overtime. We was down 4 with 30 seconds left. And I was just like, I know it's not a lot of time, probably going to end up having a foul. Like, something is going to have to work out, because I started thinking about how I would feel when I got home tonight. And I was just like, we just can't have this right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure everybody was thinking that same way, you know, about how they would feel if they went home tonight and know that we left this game out there and didn't take care of business. So we got it done.
Thanks. Thank you.